Timeout Talks. Timeout Talks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks with Ben and Josh, streaming on the one and only Minifan Network. We are also live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Timeout Talks is brought to you by many sponsors, Kirk Minahan being one of them, but brought to you by Chasin Thrills, custom t-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, Make It Mac, and of course we are very proud to be a part of the Minifan Network. We've got so much on the docket here. We've got Jackson, we've got David, we've got Coach Drunk Chris Curtis. We've already got the comments are slamming. We're going to talk Cowboys' new head coach, UFC, big fight night coming up here. This finally feels like James hypes up all the fight nights, but this finally feels like a fight night worthy of mentioning. And of course, we're going to get to, I've got a lot of takes, and I'm sure Ben has his takes on the AFC and NFC, the championship rounds. We're going to get to a recap of that. And of course, we will talk about, we're not going to preview next week's games, but we'll spend a lot of time recapping Charlie O'Donnell, Fly Eagles Fly. And of course, we will talk about the UFC Fight Night. But before we get there, I just wanted to take a quick second out of your time just to spread some awareness at the top of our show to show support for Pappas Rehabilitation Center, which is located out in Canton, which is battling a potential closing, a planned closing, I should say. This is a rehab facility / center that homes many disabled children ranging from the ages of 7 to 22. Just wanted to, go on the small platform that I have here on Timeout Talks, help spread the awareness, whether you guys share it on social media. I'm sure you've seen it on Fox News or any of the news stations. I've shared it on my social media, so you can go through my Facebook page if you want, whether it's contacting the governor or, of course, signing the petition, which I'm going to drop in the comments. But any awareness will go a long way in the battle of keeping this facility open, not displacing any of these employees or children, keeping the families and their children kind of close. And just any type of awareness that you can give would be great. So very well appreciated. I'll drop the petition in the comments, but any support is great support. So appreciate that.
Yeah, I second everything from Josh on that one. Josh is a little more knowledgeable than me on that one. I always put my faith in Josh. He's a smart guy, so I trust him on that. So I put everything into that one, so I second all that. So hopefully we can get the support over there. And as Josh mentioned too, we'll get to some of these comments that are already going. Jackson knew where we were starting off the show with, so we appreciate Denise too. But we're gonna go right to here. We're gonna go right to the Cowboys job. Schottenheimer. It's a little shocking. Not shocking, but random, I guess. Josh, I wasn't expecting an house hire. To be honest, I don't really know this guy. I mean, obviously he's pretty well known and everything, but I didn't. I'm still just sort of, sometimes I still just assume Kellen Moore's over there as the offensive coordinator, not going to lie. But, hey, I don't totally hate it. He sounded pretty good in the presser. Josh, he sounded, like he realizes what he's got, to do over there. He's put all of his faith in Dak, so I like how he's already built a stance on that. He said Dak's his guy. So that's good to just get that out the way, Josh, but a little random. I thought they might go somewhere other than in-house on that one, but I think overall it's a good step in the right direction for the Cowboys. Good hire. I like his stance on Dak. Let's see if he can fill out this roster. That's the biggest task right now. He's said everything. He said all the right things so far, Josh. He's done everything right. Granted, in the short time. Good point from Jackson too. Even though my guy Rico's looking all right. Maybe if they can get another solid 2 in the draft, maybe later in the rounds. Josh doesn't like it, but I want to beef up that offensive line for the Cowboys. He doesn't want to hear it, but maybe that can help the run game a little. But still, I think this is a pretty good hire. nothing that's going to blow anyone out the water. But I think that's a solid move for the Cowboys. Let's just make some of these quiet moves. I don't know why I keep saying we. I'm just throwing myself in Josh's perspective. But for the Cowboys, let's just make these quiet moves. I mean, you got two teams in your division that just played in the NFC Championship game. It's going to be an uphill battle right now. It's going to be an uphill climb to get there. But just fill out that roster, and I think they're on the right path with this one. And I like the hire so far. Granted, it's only been a day or two.
Yeah, it's, you know what everybody's going to say, and you know what I've got to start off with. Coach, just hammering our guy Jackson. How can you ever go at our guy Jackson? But, I mean, I've heard good things of Brian Schottenheimer, before Dallas's tenure. I mean, we know for a fact last year, offensively, they were one of the best teams. Not this season, but the 2023 season, they were one of the best offensive teams in the league. Then, the same old Dallas Cowboys came out in the postseason. I'm whatever, Ben. I mean, I didn't want Deion Sanders. That wasn't going to happen. I didn't think he had proven anything. There was one guy I wanted, and there's one guy that I still want, and that's Bill Belichick. And hey, maybe Brian Schottenheimer's going to keep his seat warm, or maybe Ben's right. Maybe this guy actually is, the next head coach. My eyes, I think he's going to be, the next Jason Garrett. I think we're going to be looking at a lot of 8 and 9s and 9 and 8 seasons, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in this move. I think it's just another one of Jerry's grab ass guys who's just a yes man. I'm sorry, Brian. Maybe you're wrong. He did have an okay presser, but I don't look at this offense and say from this past year that he was phenomenal, or, he was a Ben Johnson or an Aaron Glenn, or, I don't know, Ben. Or even the Bucks, their offensive coordinator. Like, I know Dak Prescott came out and said he really likes the creativity. Then you've got, Brian Schottenheimer defending Dak, but I don't think he's going to bring a lot of creativity to this team. I don't think I've seen it. I like some of the pieces that the Dallas Cowboys have, but again, it's on Jerry Jones and it's up to the ownership. They said they're all in. They didn't go and get an all-in coach. They didn't go in and get an all-in roster last year. We're still strapped on cash. We got to see what we do for the draft. Maybe we do beef up that line. I would appreciate that, but it's out of my hands. And hey, I guess I'm rolling with Brian Schottenheimer. But I think the biggest thing, Ben, here, and kind of just sticking to on point is, I mean, you're looking at the NFC East. You're looking at two teams that just went head-to-head with each other. I mean, you got to think the Giants are going to be better at some point. The NFC is getting a lot better. Ben Johnson going over to the Bears, so they're going to be an emerging franchise as well. I think that's a great hire for them. I know we touched upon that last week. But, hey, the NFC East is getting better. The Eagles are playing for a championship, and Jaden Daniels giving me flashes of, Joe Burrow when he entered the league, maybe even more explosive, some would say, with his legs. But they're going to get better, and I mean, teams around you are getting better. So I don't know, Ben. I'm not feeling great about it. I don't hate it. I like it better than Deion because I think Deion was just a recipe for disaster. But I don't think that this moves you anywhere. I think you're looking at the same old Dallas Cowboys of last year. Maybe they can address some holes on the field that we kind of needed to touch up on this upcoming offseason. But it all comes down to the offseason, and it all just comes down to one person, and that's Jerry Jones. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. It is what it is.
That's the biggest part right there, Josh. How much control is he actually going to give him? Is he going to be the Jerry Jones that we've always seen, or is he actually going to let up some of that power? I doubt it. No offense to the Cowboys fans. I don't want to, spoil the party or kind of, rain on the parade already, but I think Jerry's going to stay in his ways. He's really hasn't changed, and I don't think, once a guy gets to that old age, you don't really change. So I think he's set in his ways. Yeah, there we go, Jackson. That was a good presser. That Duval, that was nice. I'm a little intrigued on that one. He's a little all over the place, so I'm going to hold Jackson's that one. I'm going to see. I'm going to remember Jackson's take on that. So I'm gonna hold him to that one. I'm a little more iffy on Liam Cohen over there. He's just I don't like some of the decisions he made. Backing out of the deal, coming back. It's just been a little weird over there, but. As we touched on, I think the Cowboys' toughest challenge for them is that division. I mean, you look at Jaden Daniels, emerging quarterback, top. I think top. He's going to be top 3, I believe. Once he gets a little more seasoned and a little more years in the league, he's going to ascend to that elite, sort of ranking. Yeah, Cohen has no swag. That's true. That's, Jackson's all over the place over here. I love it. I love it, Jackson. Killing it for us. But, yeah, I think that's just the Cowboys' biggest challenge. It's just, you got to come after one of the emerging quarterbacks in the league, and that's not even the top team in the division. I mean, you got to go compete with Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and A.J. Brown. And they're not young, but, I mean, they're already in their prime. They've entered their prime. Saquon, I mean, he's got 1,000 yards without getting touched this year. That offensive line is only getting better for the Eagles. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, obviously still. A.J. Brown not as young as Devontae Smith, but Smith is young. A.J. Brown's not old by any means. Hurts still got a lot of miles on him. So, I mean, the Eagles are just, for the rest of the NFC, the Eagles are kind of just scary, Josh. Not let alone with the Cowboys, but I think that's honestly the biggest challenge for the Cowboys, just the teams in there. So that's why I say fill out that roster. Let Schottenheimer do his thing. Let's see if he's, like Josh said, if he's just warming the seat for the next guy or if he's actually legit. So I think he's going to be legit, and hopefully this pans out for him because they got a big task in the NFC East.
Oh, for sure, Ben. And I don't want to take all day talking about it, but yeah, let's see. This guy's, I guess I haven't really looked too much into the resume because I was traveling, but he's got a family that comes from a football background. He's been within the organization for a few seasons, which makes me feel a little better. And it all comes down to Jerry Jones. So he's not going to change. And, to answer Freddie Lynn's comment, they probably will improve when he leaves. I think I mention this all the time and I'll hammer it till I'm blue in the face, but he reminds me so much of Vince McMahon, had the success early on. The Cowboys were winning championships. WWF was the big thing. WWE was great. And then you hit that rock bottom where it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Takes a young face like Triple H to come in. WWE's on the map. They just signed a big deal with Netflix. Hopefully the same thing happens for Jerry Jones. So, and the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know whether it's Stephen Jones. He seems like another idiot too. Maybe, I don't know. I've heard rumors of them selling to Elon Musk. That's not going to happen in a zillion years. I don't know who it is, Ben, but it's tough already. It's tough already. And I think you're looking at another 8-9, 9-8 season just off rip. But we've got plenty more to get to. And I'm going to leave it up to Ben before I get into my big take that I have here. But AFC and NFC championship recap. We had, just some very interesting moments in here. Saquon Barkley went off. Jalen Hurts, the run game within that NFC championship could not be stopped or contained. The Philadelphia Eagles are going back to represent the NFC. Ben, good match, good fight for Jaden Daniels, but the Eagles are just too much. And hey, I hate to be this guy, and I want to see what you say, but you were calling the Commanders all season. Ever since the middle of the season, I told people, I said, this Philadelphia Eagles team is pretty legit. They finally fixed their biggest concern, and that was their defense. And, we saw that this past weekend.
Yeah, to be honest, I know Zach Bonds. But out there, I didn't know Zach Bond. They've been saying he was like Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I didn't realize he was that good or having that good of a year over there. But they've solidified that defense, Josh. Like you said, they filled that out pretty well. Jalen Carter was a huge addition. Cooper DeJean was a solid later round pick, and not later, but I believe they traded up for him, try to snag him. He was pretty, everybody was pretty keen on him, trying to get him, scoop him up in those later. I think it was like late first round, maybe early second. But they solidified that defense and some of the holes they needed. Got some veteran leadership over there. Darius Slay. They filled out those pieces. They had the offense, Josh, and they finally got Jalen Hurts a little relief too. And Saquon's just, that's my MVP. I know we're talking about Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think that's the MVP of the league. He's pretty much solidified it, I think. I know you're not supposed to look at the playoffs and everything, but I don't know how you don't give it to Saquon. Saquon has changed his team up, and he's just made them elite. Saquon is you can't guard anybody on that offense. That offense is incredible. The tush push is getting a little old. I won't lie. Yep, that's true. Oh man, Freddie, that's what I don't want to see that one. We'll get into that a little next week too with some predictions, but
sure.
But just a little teaser too. I do think this is the best team to take down the Chiefs, Josh. This is. It would have been nice to see the Commanders just for my pick being right and everything, but I think this team has the most arsenal of weapons to compete with the Chiefs and everything. So that was, like I said, Josh, great game. Just getting back on that game. Great game between the Commanders and Eagles. To be honest, my takeaway is the biggest loser wasn't even in that game, Josh. I think both those teams won in a way. Commanders did. Who would have thought the Commanders were in the NFC Championship with a rookie quarterback? Nobody thought that he would have got there. They exceeded expectations. But if you're a Giants fan, Josh, you lost. You're the biggest loser, I think, if you're a New York Giants fan right now. Watching Saquon do what he does. And, there was, you don't take too much stock into this, but I know you saw that video with the Giants GM, and, he's asking his son who should draft. He's saying Jaden Daniels, and he's like, oh, no, let's stick with Daniel Jones. And it's just been a rough year for the Giants, Josh. And watching those guys, watching Jaden Daniels, a guy you could have had, and watching Saquon, a guy you had, a guy that was your franchise, just bring a team to a Super Bowl. The Commanders and Eagles are going to be in really good spots, Josh. It was a great game. Obviously, Commanders it was easy analysis, Josh. They can't turn the ball over that much. The Eagles have 28 points on turnovers. They scored every time they got a turnover. It's just, you're not going to be a team at home like that. But for the Giants fans, Josh, it's really rough right now. Really rough, and I feel for you guys. I actually feel for them, because that was a tough game to watch. So that's the biggest loser, I think, Josh, out of everybody.
Yeah, just back and forth game. And you literally said the point I was going to get to, the turnovers. I'm watching the game right off rip. They come out, they fumble on the kickoff return. Then Austin Eckler with a fumble. What's his name? McNichols, I'm pretty sure. Nichols, whoever, McNichols. He fumbles. They just, Eckler fumbled in a moment where they were gaining momentum. They were only down one score. That's an interesting one, David. But I don't know. We got a couple comments that we'll get to in a second, but I don't know. I look at that. I tip of the cap to Dan Quinn and those guys in Washington. They proved a lot of people wrong. Ben's definitely happy. Too bad Ben didn't put that in some type of bet. He was feeling that hunch, and it rode him all the way to the NFC Championship. But like you said, yeah, Giants definitely biggest losers. But, I look at that game and I just see the Philadelphia Eagles with a better team. They were more ready. In that run game, you look at Jalen Hurts, who I'm pretty sure I got to check that, but I don't even think he threw for over 200 yards within the last 2 weeks. I'm going to check that right now as we speak. But this run game, whether it's him, they put up 55 points. I completely forgot about that. You're seeing Kenny Pickett in. Yeah. Oh no, he put up 246 yards and a touchdown. So
still pretty good.
This is 3 touchdowns for Saquon Barkley. AJ Brown did his thing, and that is the biggest point. Is I looked at that Eagles team, and I just said they're ready. Washington, they're young, they're not fully ready, not disciplined enough. Sorry, Dan Quinn, but tip of the cap to you. But those fumbles, those are just big things that against a team like the Chiefs or the Eagles or even the Bills, like any of those teams that were in the Final Four, aside from the Commanders, you can't do those things. They're going to cost you, especially when the Eagles can't be stopped. Jaden Daniels did his thing. Tip of the cap to him. I don't want to take too much time talking about this because, of course, we've got that huge AFC Championship game to recap too. But yeah, Ben, I think you said it perfectly. The Giants, the biggest losers. Those turnovers were keen. This is a tough top 3, maybe, if not, I was talking to somebody today, if not the best defense in the National Football League. And that's what the Eagles did. They finally got better. They addressed those needs defensively. Jalen Carter's looking like the next Vita Vea in his prime. They're a force to be reckoned with over there in Philly. And it's definitely going to be a close game. I couldn't disagree with Freddie Lynn anymore. I know that they couldn't stop them on 3rd and 4th down, but this is a different Chiefs team here. I know that they just put up 30 points against the Bills, but they're not going to do that every week. That's pretty much the highest. That's the highest they've scored all season against the Bills, and the Bills defense is nowhere near the Eagles defense. So, I don't know. We'll get to that in a second.
Also
but
the best, Josh. They're the best team on 4th down too. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
the Commanders' best team on 4th down this year. So there's a reason they were going for it a lot on there and getting it. But yeah, it's not gonna be the same with the Chiefs.
Also, interesting thing, you go for it for opening drive. You go for it on 4th downs. I love it. I welcome Jeff. I know what you're gonna say, but you go for it all first drive. I mean, first down, fourth down and 5 on their 50. I'm like, oh, wow, I like this. Dan Quinn kind of taking a little page out of, Dan Campbell's playbook here, going for it, trying to stay aggressive against Philly. They know that they were kind of on the ropes, kind of come out with some momentum. And then they go for the field goal after like a 4th and 3 or 4th and 4 after converting on 2 4th downs. So couple just weird coaching decisions, and I don't want to give Nick Sirianni too much credit because look at his goddamn team. But hey, he got them here, and Ben, you mentioned it perfectly. This is the one team that is, destined to probably give the Chiefs a hard time, and we got to get off here. We're doing a half speed show, so I don't want to take too much time. But I mean, hey, the Eagles find themselves back in the championship, and like you said, I mean, how can you not give Saquon Barkley looks at MVP? I mean, he's just unbelievable. I mean, he's the MVP of the postseason by far, in my opinion. So if you're counting that, that's fine. But a couple questions here I wanted to throw out. Ben here, not that one. Anthony Strack, shout out Strack. Defending our country. But who are the Pats taking at number 4? Ben, quickly.
I'm hearing Abdul Carter, Penn State, outside edge guy. So I'd be very happy if I was a Pats guy if I landed him. He's pretty good, even from my sources. But on the same token, I think you need to get a little offensive weapon or offensive lineman. So I'd be happy with that pick, but it need a lot more pieces over there in New England. So it's going to be a lot more.
For sure, Ben. And last one here. I can answer this. You can too. I mean, I don't think that this will be a thing. David, I appreciate it, but I don't think in our lifetime we're going to see every state have an NFL team. I think they like the 32 team thing. I mean, I think it just works good for math.
Like money, Josh, sorry, but as much as they like money, it's not going to happen. It just like I said, it's just too weird. It would make the standings weird. It just makes sense like this. Go stick with the 32.
We got a couple comments here, and hey, Jose, you're going to lead us right into it. Tough one. This is what Ben and a lot
Jared?
Of people wanted to get to. Where's Jared? Ben seems fired up. I'm going to let him take the reins on this one.
No, I mean, of course, I back him. I back these Bills. These guys always get me to sort of believe in them just against the Chiefs. I just fully just giving it away. I don't want the Chiefs to win. Nobody wants the Chiefs to win. So that's why I think everybody was on the Bills this time around, and they just blew it again. They just can't win. They just, this is the first time I've actually seen some of these play calls and coaching really come into effect. There's no sweat off Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen did everything he can. He was making great throws. I mean, where's James Cook? I mean, did they just decide not to put the best? I mean, he was just killing it in the first quarter, first half, and they just said, let's just keep him on the bench for Ray Davis. I'm just kind of confused by that. And I love the aggressive play calling to a degree, but come on. How many same tush pushes are we going to do? They've got Chris Jones, a Hall of Famer, Steve Spagnuolo, one of the best defensive coordinators out there. Do you not think they've game planned for this? Do you not think they realize after the first couple times when you got it, hey, he's going to go to the left side? It was just, and yes, the refs, that Kincaid one on 3rd down, that's a first down. I think, that original tush push, that's a first down too. But you didn't get the call. You're in Kansas City. You didn't get the call. It was a dicey play. If you really wanted to get over that line, even more clear, just push him. So get somebody back there besides Ray Davis or whoever it was back there. I don't know why they have Ray Davis or the other backup. I'm blanking on his name. Just pushing
Johnson, Ty Johnson.
Yeah, Ty Johnson. Thank you. Why are we having the fullback or somebody over there pushing him? But for Jared and them, it's just there's James. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, James. Hello, James. It's just another Bills. I mean, typical Bills. He always wants to come after me for the Steelers. Everybody always wants to come after me. Typical Steelers. But this is Bills. As Jeff said, Jeff perfectly said it right there. I mean, Kansas City is more clutch. And I'm not hearing about the refs either on that one. But Kansas City was more clutch. They had better coaching, better situational football, better play calling, just everything. I mean, that's, slow passes, Samaje Perine to ice the game. Everything that they did just from the coaching aspect was better than the Bills and better than Buffalo, and that's why I don't think Buffalo will ever get there. They got the same talent as Kansas City, but the coaching is just not there, Josh, and they need to change it, or they're never going to get to that Kansas City level.
James. Yeah, he is. I'll give him credit for that. I mean,
just like Mac Jones. Yeah, just like Mac Jones.
Rob coming in. I mean,
yeah, my phone works. I mean, you guys put me
took
in
a
like
look at
10
it.
group chats. Like how am I supposed to keep up with that? I'm not keeping up with 10 group chats. So like, it's tough. Just say my name, Rob, and I'll appear.
Look at that. Little Joe Hendry if you're a WWE fan. I like that little say his name and
I
he
didn't
appears.
realize
But
that. I didn't realize
yeah,
that.
look at that, Ben. Ben doesn't even know what he's walking into. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of mulled this over a little bit. I mean, I will first of all come out here and say the NFL is very, very happy that the Chiefs found their way in. But I'm gonna put my feelings aside and say you guys are right. You know, you look at Jeff's comment here. I mean, I couldn't agree anymore. Josh Allen has the ball in his hands at the end of the game. This is after the whole first down thing. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is after the whole first down, which he clearly got. Whatever, we can make the argument it's close. He gets the ball in his hands. They can't get it done. I mean, and just it goes back to what you said as well. I mean, how many touch pushes are we going to see? James Cook is coming in. And I get kind of like we see the Eagles do it sometimes too. Like you get Barkley in, you get Gainwell, like the different speeds of backs. I totally get it. Throw different looks, but there was a point in time where we're all talking about this in the group chat. Everybody's seeing it, even to the naked eye of a football fan who doesn't watch that often sees it. I mean, they were just killing them with the ground and pound, the running game. James Cook is getting momentum going. And then we're doing too much, getting way too fancy. Joe Brady here, who decided to stay. Good luck with that. I mean, he's been good, but if he's going to call plays like this in the postseason, he's going to cost you. But I mean, what are you doing? You're doing the running back carousel late in the game. I mean, just ride James Cook to the end zone. They didn't end up doing that. I mean, Kincaid, tough drop, but at the same time, this comes down to it too. I mean, Steve Spagnuolo had been showing blitz on a lot of third and fourth downs. They weren't prepared for it. They don't pick that up. I mean, it was in the Bills' hands to win. For sure. I completely agree with you on that. I'm not. Ben, Jeff, James, Jose, Jared, Buffalo Bills Mafia, the NFL. I'm not going to sit here and say the Chiefs did not deserve to win. They did. Patrick Mahomes had the upper hand. The Kansas City Chiefs had the upper hand. You heard it here from Joshua Kamara, 7/28, January 28th. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to walk back on my words either. But I will say, and this is to Ben's point here, it sounds like I'm going to go on a little divergent here, but I'm not. I will say there's only so many times we can pump up the Buffalo Bills and we can do this, and then we're just caught in the same thing. I'm going to tell you right now, the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Like we don't need to do the whole like it's going to happen. You heard it here first. I'll change my mind in the next week, but like just save it. I've seen all that I've needed to see. I'm not going to take too much time to like bash the NFL, but it's happening. Save your time, save your money. It is going to happen. I know the Philadelphia Eagles, we're getting a little rematch here, but it's going to happen. I know that, the Chiefs don't have the best running defense. We saw the Bills kind of take them away with that, but I don't know. I think it's written in the stars here, and the Bills got a lot of work to do. I mean, they've got some cap. That's courtesy of my little source there from Jared, who's a Buffalo Bills fan. They've really got to figure out some things, Ben. I mean, and again, I don't want to take too much time, but 3rd and freaking 10, you're doing screens to Amari Cooper, who has been gone. Like, it's just terrible, terrible play calling. And I think James is right. I mean, we saw that defense get picked apart. Isaiah Pacheco, who hadn't been on the field in however many, he's doing things. Samaje Perine. Just watching that 3rd down final clincher at the end of the game, it's just. The Bills were outclassed. The Chiefs were the better team at home. I couldn't agree any more with some of the people online saying, what were you fooling yourself for putting a bet on our money line on the Bills? They weren't going to go into Kansas City and win. If anything, the game would have to be at home. And just the way that this season has gone for the Chiefs and the way that, history shows 0-4 now against the Kansas City Chiefs. But still got a couple minutes left to talk about the UFC Fight Night. But Ben, yeah, they've got to dig deep and figure out some stuff that they got to do. I still think they're lacking that true number one. I know they kind of they made it to the AFC Championship technically better than they were last year with Stephon Diggs, but got to figure out James Cook's contract, bring him back, get a couple more defensive. Maybe you think draft, you kind of go defense, offseason, you go offense. I don't know. They've got a lot of time to kind of figure that out, but I mean, it's just another roadblock. And I know all of them on First Take are saying, "Oh, you don't feel bad for Josh Allen," but I do. I mean, he's done all he can, and I know Jeff's gonna hit me back with, "Oh, well, he had the ball in his hands for the last 3 minutes." So, I mean, it is what it is. Chiefs won it, and that's all that is to that. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. You are right, Jeff. Definitely right on that.
They have to just know how to utilize the guys on their roster, and that coach's staff's just better than them, and Patrick Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. It's just simple as that, and that's a good point too, Josh. I mean, who are we fooling? I mean, were they going to go in Arrowhead and win this game now? They need to be perfect. Yeah,
me and you had them.
They fooled me pretty good. I bought into them a lot. I thought they had it. I liked that run game that they had going, and they had a solid game going. They had a solid game plan that they were doing, but you're right, Josh. That's perfect point right there. Enough with the screens, especially Amari Cooper at the end. What is that? But even some of these other ones, it's just you're doing these dink and ducks, and it's just like you just see that throw he had to Matt Collins twice and to Khalil Shakir over the top, and I mean he had the ability. He was doing it. Yeah, he was doing it, but they just got out of it. And like we brought up already, it's just the point everyone's brought up. They took James Cook out for some reason. Not sure why. I don't know why he didn't get many touches in the second half. They went away from that. Too many screens. They're just not on the same level as the Kansas City Chiefs, unfortunately. So a little worrisome. If the Bills aren't, it's kind of like who's going to take down these guys. So that's why I might be on. Like I said, I'm not giving away too much, but I might be on the other side, Josh, next week for in 2 weeks. But for next week, prediction wise, I might just have to go the other side. I can't have Taylor Swift win again.
I like it, Ben. So yeah, there's that. Chiefs just continue to do it, continue to get it done. Moving forward here, we've got an interesting fight night lined up here for you guys. I mean, I'm fired up for it. This is going to be an interesting one. Israel Adesanya is back. He is taking on Nazaruddin Imavov. I can't pronounce his name. First time I'm seeing him.
I think you got that one.
I'll take it. First time I'm seeing him fight. That'll be an interesting one. We've got the card here on the side. Two matchups I'm looking forward here to is Izzy Shara Magnomedov with one eye going up against my guy Michael Venom Page, and I'll go fast here. I think it's going to be Izzy and Shara who win. I love Michael Venom Page, but this guy Shara is a man on a mission. I think Michael Venom Page will keep it interesting, but I got to go Izzy and I got to go Shara, and I'll go Sergey. I don't know either of those two heavyweights, but I'll go Sergey with that.
Jorginho's nice. That might be a sneaky one, but I like that one too, Josh. Sergey's got to get back on track, so I think Sergey wins that one as well. But just interesting note with this card too. It's I was just looking at it. It's an early morning one, so you got
12 o'clock.
Kind of stinks for me on that one. I kind of forgot about
I
that.
love it.
I liked, I wanted to have it. I like having it after work though, so might be able to catch. I'll catch the Izzy fight hopefully, maybe in the Shara one too, but. So just to warn everybody, prelims start at 9 a.m. So we'll get you up nice and early. But overall, I think one of the better fight nights.
I love him, Jeff. Leave me alone.
It's true. I mean, it's kind of true. He's kind of a boring guy. I thought he'd be a little more exciting. Didn't know his extensive background getting into UFC, but he just kind of seems like these grappler guys. And that fight with Kevin Holland wasn't the most entertaining. I won't lie, but I mean, Shara's going to put on a show regardless. Like I said, he's a Dagestan guy that, he can wrestle a little, but he's more of a knockout guy. You don't really see that from those Dagestan. More known for their wrestling. So this guy, like Josh said, he's got one eye. He's a knockout artist with one eye. This guy just puts on a show every time. So that's why he got the co-main event, trying to get him out there for the born public. It's more intriguing. Yeah, it definitely is. But I think, this is one of the more interesting main cards. Got a lot bigger names on there. That Duran Rebus fight night to start off this year was pretty good too, so I think that could rival that one. But Terrence McKinney on the prelims too. He's always an interesting guy. Always he either gets knocked out or knocks somebody out, so watch out for that one, Terrence McKinney. But this is going to be a solid one. Kind of just bummed Josh. It's this early, but it's in France, so you gotta do a little time switch and everything. So you gotta appease them over there, and I got Izzy though. I'm gonna go Izzy, and I'm gonna go Izzy and Shara. So,
I think
boring, Josh.
Sadly, I have to agree. Maybe the day of I'm feeling Michael Venom Page, but I mean, Ben,
Izzy's just gotta win.
You know why it's gonna be at 12? It's gonna be at 12 because the Royal Rumble's going to be on. I'm actually
here we go.
very excited that I'm actually so excited. I mean, I was telling a couple friends, I was like, dude, what am I going to do? UFC Fight Night's on the same time as the Royal Rumble. Don't even worry about it. We got to wrap up the show in a second. Oh, here we go. We'll get to this first before we get to Jose. Jameson, hey, Josh, you stink and the Cowboys stink. Watching my birds. Hoist another Lombardi. Should have stuck with the local team instead of bandwagoning. Wow. A lot of hate there. Hey, James.
I know he was from Philly. There we go.
Yeah, he probably isn't, but James, I give you the best of luck against the Chiefs and America.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Here comes Jerry, Mr. B. Shout out, Mr. B. Legend there. But here we go. I'm going to finish it off with this. And as always, want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. And we're going to turn it over to Ben. He's from Philly. He's not a bandwagon fan like me. He's hammering that bandwagon thing. We don't need luck. Birds are going to stomp the Chiefs. He's going to be the first person. I hope he's Jerry. I hope that he is in here after the Chiefs win. So I just want to say that. But who's winning the men's and women's Royal Rumble? Ben doesn't watch, but I'll answer this one for Ben. We all know who's going to win the women's. It's Charlotte. Let's just do that. Let's get this out of the way. That's going to happen. Charlotte Flair is going to come back and win. She looks like a plastic doll now with all the face work she's gotten done. She doesn't look recognizable. So give that a look if you can. But she's going to come back and win. And I'm going to have to go with CM Punk. I was kind of debating this when Jose asked me live, but I think CM Punk's going to win. He's going to get his win. He's going to fight Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania or Roman Reigns, whatever they decide to do. We're not going to see The Rock at WrestleMania. I think he's teasing us. Cena will be there. I think he's going to get close to winning. Someone's going to throw him over the ropes. That's my take to win. I want Cena to win it all, but
okay. I just want to double check on that one.
Yeah, so Cena will be there. But again, I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Spread the awareness for the potential closing of the Pappas Rehabilitation Center. Sign the petition. You can check me out on Facebook. I'll have it on there. I didn't have enough time to drop it in the chat. So just want to stop them from potentially being closed. So call up the governor, do whatever you got to do. But again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Jeff doesn't like it, but I like it. And Jerry, John Cena, the GOAT. I'm going to leave it over to Ben to end this one. Ben, I mean, I know you're not a WWE guy, but man, oh man, this is going to be an interesting finish here for Ben.
Yeah, second everything Josh said again, as always, about the Pappas Rehabilitation Center. Just go get that information from him. Go sign that petition. So just want to spread that awareness through Josh as well. But appreciate everyone, as always, for tuning in. Great games from the championship weekend. Sad. I don't want to keep thinking about it. Sad. Football's almost over, Josh. Let's not think about it. But I'll go with the WWE. I'll back you up with Charlotte Flair. Be John Cena to win the men's Royal Rumble. Let's go, Cena.